This is a response to someone else's response to Warren 25 Smash's video about anti-Arab racism. Just want to correct some things in this Joe God guy's video, and I'll play part for him, parts of what he says.
I'm going to make this perfectly clear. I don't agree with what happened with those people. Those people were on the plane. They were praying.
That isn't true. They weren't praying on the plane, but I can see how he could get that wrong impression. Look how ABC News introduced the piece.
The removal of 6 Muslim clerics from an airline flight. Passengers felt the clerics were acting suspiciously. The clerics claim they were simply trying to pray.
The way he reported that, it sounds like they were praying on the plane, when the fact is they weren't. If you only watch that part of the report, that's the impression you would get. This part of the report actually makes it clear.
The 6 men were considered suspicious because they had prayed in Arabic in the boarding area.
Okay, so they weren't praying on the plane. Here's another report that makes that clear. This one is from Chicago, ABC News.
The men passed through airport security with no problems. The only action that may have raised concerns is something these religious scholars do 5 times a day, and that is pray. Right before boarding the flight, 3 members of the group prayed in the terminal.
3 of us, we did this in a very peaceful way. We never bother anybody. We did not bother. We did not harm. We did not say it loudly, just to respect other people.
And meanwhile, Joe God is claiming that they were praying loudly and they were praying on the plane. Mainstream media does a great job of spreading disinformation, and Tucker is one of the top guys that can do it.
Muslim leaders are outraged over yesterday's removal of 6 imams from the U.S. Airways plane in Minneapolis. The men were attending a conference attended by over 150 Muslim religious leaders. Returning to Phoenix, a passenger expressed concern to airline personnel after seeing the 6 men praying. The imams were handcuffed, led off the plane, and then questioned for several hours. There are, Jews believe in circumcision. Great. You do that on an airplane, you're in trouble. Christians speak in tongues sometimes. You do that on an airplane. It makes people uncomfortable.
I mean, these guys were not praying. They were not praying on a plane, first of all.
Okay, but this is the thing that really gets me. This guy, screen name Joe God, I think, insisting that it was only 10 minutes that the imams were delayed and that they just got on the plane and everything was okay. I mean, it seems like he's trying in his mind to rationalize this or downplay it, and he invents this 10-minute thing. I mean, I don't know where he got that from.
They were freaking out people on the plane. I don't care how dumb they were. They didn't know what was going on. They were just scared to death. I don't care. They were detained for 10 fucking minutes. 10 fucking minutes. I've been detained at airports for 10 fucking minutes because I just look raggedy, because I got long hair and I don't shave and I just look like an idiot. I've been detained for that long too. I've been sniffed by dogs. I've had my pockets rooted through. I've had it all done to me before too. Big fucking deal. They got back on the plane. It was over.
Someone once said on C-SPAN, they were paraphrasing, and I don't know who it was. Some people say Mark Twain, some people say someone else, but the paraphrase was better than when I went back to look at the original. And it was, it's not what they don't know that's the problem. It's what they think they know that isn't so. And that's a lot of the problem we have in America and in the world, probably. But none of the media reports I saw mentioned, it was said or implied that it was just 10 minutes. I don't know where he got that from.
ABC 7 News at 4 continues.
A plane is detained at the gate of the Minneapolis airport, and inside that plane, 6 Muslim scholars. They're taken into custody. They're questioned for hours.
Well, Linda and Alan, the 6 religious leaders were taken off the plane, handcuffed, and detained for several hours. The Muslim men believe they were singled out because they prayed prior to getting on the plane.
Instead of a normal flight home, it was a long night stuck in the Minneapolis airport for these 6 Muslim leaders known as imams. The men were removed from a U.S. Air flight after a passenger raised concerns about the group to a flight attendant.
It's the worst moment in my life when I see 6 imams being taken off the plane without any reason. There is no reason to do that. Then after that, they handcuff us.
The imams were handcuffed, led off the plane, and then questioned for several hours.
Praying in an airport. What if they were Muslim? 6 imams were pulled off a flight from Minneapolis to Phoenix last night, and police questioned them for several hours.
The 6 Muslim religious leaders were still in Minneapolis this morning, attempting to return to Phoenix when they were refused seats again by U.S. Airways.
I want to know my rights as an American in America.
The tickets were refunded last night.
I'm asking about the new tickets.
Okay, you'll need to purchase them on somebody else.
From somebody else.
Airline.
The airline said it is company policy after a security incident to put the involved passengers on another airline. The 6 imams were removed by the police from an airplane last night after a passenger passed a note to the flight crew. The 6 men were considered suspicious because they had prayed in Arabic in the boarding area and for some reason because one of them had asked for a seatbelt extender on the plane. The imams say they were handcuffed and humiliated.
Just show me one side that we have done something wrong.
This afternoon, nearly 20 hours after their original departure time, the 6 imams arrived home in Phoenix on Northwest Airlines.
Please subscribe. Please tell other people to subscribe.